Hello and welcome to my virtual IBC studio in the Music Park Mannheim 2. This review will be about the new features in Adobe After Effects. I am Neece from Post-Production Tutorials for the Digital Production Magazine website. At the IBC in Amsterdam, I recorded some interviews at the Adobe booth. The great Victoria Neece will introduce some new layer and keyframe workflows and some 3D features. Victoria, the stage is yours.
Hi, I'm Victoria from the After Effects team. Here to show you some great new features in After Effects. Super excited about quick offset. Makes animating fast, easy, tactile, expressive. We've got smooth zoom, all kinds of other things like that just make After Effects feel faster and more fluid. And this is all on top of smoother playback, smoother caching, and some really powerful 3D features and effects. So lots going on in After Effects, and can't wait to show you more. So this is a really common thing. You've got a bunch of locators. You want something a little more exciting than everything all coming on screen at exactly the same time. This isn't very exciting. So first thing I can do here is I can start grabbing my state outlines, and I have a whole bunch of these. And I can just hold down Option and Command, and I get this new cursor. And you see this, my cursor changes from a pointer to this new cursor showing these little staggered layers. And what this lets me do is just click and drag, and now it's dragging out the timing of those layers as I drag the mouse. And so instead of everything happening at once, I can now have everything animate on over a few seconds. And so just very quickly, it's gone from slow, everything popping out once, to now I think it's actually a little too slow. So I'm gonna undo that, and I'm gonna select these layers in the opposite order, because I think I actually want this to come on from the other coast. And so again, I can just hold down Option, Command, drag this out, and this time let's say 2 seconds, not 3 seconds. And I hit play, and now I've got a really nice cascading animation. But I want to make these pointer animations match. And so I could do the same thing and offset the layers, but these have keyframes on them. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up and hit U, and you can see all my keyframes. And again, they're all happening at the same time. So I could start by staggering these layers, but instead I'm going to stagger the keyframes. So I'm going to grab all these opening keyframes. Let's grab those first ones as well, and hold down exactly the same keyboard shortcut, and let's have those pop in over 1 second. Maybe I'm going to drag all of this over here, and then they wiggle a little bit. So let's have that. I'm going to select these the opposite order, drag these from the top. That was one time. Hold down the same command, and now let's drag them out that way. So I've got a nice little wiggle here, and when I come back, you can see now these are going to pop on the opposite direction from all of the states. So I've got very quickly, I've gone from everything happening at once to, in just a couple of clicks, I've got a full animation of things animating on, popping on, wiggling. But I want to animate these points off as well. So there's another recent feature that's really powerful combined with this. I'm going to select my keyframes, I'm going to hit copy, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going under Edit, and paste reversed keyframes. Just like I animated those on, I now have states animate on, locators animate on, everything wiggles, and then very quickly, everything animates back out again. And so this kind of motion graphics thing, you used to have to do this manually or with some math, calculating all your layer offsets, and now it's as simple as click and drag. And there's another feature that I've been using as I'm working, which is smooth zoom. So After Effects used to only let you zoom to certain specific increments, but now I can just scroll in and out, and I get that fast, fluid motion. I can go in and out really rapidly, look at my comp exactly where I need to really make fine-tuned adjustments. So there's a lot of these kinds of quality of life features to really make motion more expressive, more fluid, that little bit faster, and also that just more tactile feeling of, I want this to go from here to here, and now it's as simple as clicking and dragging, and you get that motion. So that's quick offset, paste frames in reverse, smooth zoom. We have a lot of features like this coming, so these are out now, but keep an eye on public beta for more. We've recently introduced a whole bunch of super powerful, super fast 3D features designed for mixing 2D and 3D content together. So here's a great example of the kind of model you can bring into After Effects. This scooter was textured in Substance apps, and so I've got this beautiful, really lovely looking model here. But I don't just want to have this model on its own. And we support GLB, GLTF, FBX, and OBJ models, so you can bring in lots of different kinds of content. But the real power of 3D in After Effects is when you take a model like this and you mix it in with everything else in your scene. And so here I have a scene where I've taken that same model and I've added an environment light. And the very cool thing about environment lights is that they actually let you use an image, a video, animation, all kinds of things, has a lighting source for your scene. So it's like it takes that image, wraps it as a sphere around your scene, and shines a light through it. And so here I'm using this background plate, this piece of media, as the lighting for the scooter. And so now when I pan through here, you'll see that as she comes in, you actually see her reflected in the headlight on the scooter. And so you get this really great, really quick kind of 3D, 2D composite. And it's just a matter of a couple of clicks. I created an environment light, and all I had to do was set the lighting source to my background plate image, and instantly my scooter is part of my scene. We can also do things like adjust the intensity. How much of that lighting do you want to have? Make it super bright, make it a little bit darker. You can mix and match with spotlights, parallel lights, other kinds of lighting. Here I've made it a little dimmer, but you know what? She's actually really bright, so let me undo that. So get that very quick kind of integration. On top of that, I can do things like add a shadow catcher. This is a transparent layer that's underneath here. This is a solid layer. And it's capturing the shadows cast by that environment light. So you get this really natural integration into the scene. And all you have to do to set up a shadow catcher is go to cast shadows and accept shadows, make sure shadows are on, but accept shadows only. Everything else about this layer becomes transparent. And I can do cool things like set the shadow color. So instead of this being pure black, I could pick a shadow color from, let's say, here on her, and now I get something that's a little more natural because I'm matching the real shadows in the video. So this is the power of 3D here, is that you have 3D, but you also have video, and you have text and images and shapes and everything else. And After Effects makes it super easy to bring them all together into one composition. And in public beta, we also have spot and parallel light shadows that are super fast. So you can really art direct that scene now and get that custom spotlight on you in your studio. It's really cool.
So that's all about the new features in Adobe After Effects. You can test them yourself. Just download the new version, maybe even the beta, and stay tuned for more reviews from the IBC studios and sign in for digital production use. See you!